Welcome to this interview by Project Cargo Weekly. We have two very special guests of honor today, both of them representing Liburnia Maritime, a famous chartering company. And first and foremost, I'd like to introduce Mr. Borna Petrovic from Croatia. Hello, Borna.
Hello.
Welcome here.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you. And also I'd like to say hello to Petronela, Galambošova, sitting in Czech Republic. Although your background is not Czech, but the background in your video is not Czech, but you are there, right?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome to this interview. As you know, in my interviews with Project Cargo Weekly and my, let's say, accused, I always allow the people to give a little bit of a background of themselves first. And for historical reasons, and since Borna, you have some history to inform about Liburnia in Croatia. Please, we start with you. Could you tell us about how you got into shipping and chartering in the first place, please?
Thank you. Well, I was born in Rijeka, where I finished university. I studied finance, but I come from a family with a shipping background. I'm the third generation, let's say, of people involved in shipping in different aspects. Mm-hmm. So obviously that was attractive, and I always had an ambition to have a career in shipping. Mm-hmm. My first job was actually in Liburnia, okay, where I started my career as a ship agent. And then after two beautiful years in Liburnia, I found a challenge abroad, and I joined the Bari Rogliano BRS brokers, a big French shipbroking company, mm-hmm, where I specialized in RoRo, PCTC, and multi-purpose chartering. So then I learned the aspect of shipbroking and chartering in my 9.5 years at BRS.
Okay.
Last year, for different reasons, and I was also motivated a little bit to come back home. Being abroad was also difficult because of the COVID crisis. I returned back to my origins, to Liburnia, and it has been a fantastic year ever since.
I can imagine it. As they say, east, west, home, best, right?
Exactly.
Yes, now that's an interesting background. And just for our viewers here around the world to understand, before we continue with our other special guest here, the history of Liburnia. Your head office is located in Rijeka, Croatia, isn't it?
Correct. Our head office has been located in Rijeka, which is the largest Croatian port, also a shipbuilding center. We were founded in 2004. Mm-hmm. The founders and the founder was Danko Crnčević, who is our managing director. The company started with 3 employees and has in the meantime grown to 18 employees that we have today.
Okay. Yeah, it's now you've certainly made your presence felt around the world. And if memory serves me right, some month ago, I had an interview with one of your other owners, Mr. Marin Skufka, who told me a bit about your chartering capabilities. That's very interesting. And of course, you live in a beautiful part of Europe. So I would like to pay you a personal visit soon when the COVID is over.
The sooner the better.
Yeah, I believe you. I heard you had good wines there. But just to give a quick question here to you about chartering in general, can you see that the charter market is very hot at the moment? I've heard crazy rates floating around due to this COVID situation.
Oh yes, indeed. The charter market for, let's say, for container vessels and container as cargo has been very hot since December, I would say. Mm-hmm. While the multi-purpose general cargo market picked up shortly thereafter. Let's say since January, we have seen an increase in freight rates. This puts forwarders in a particularly vulnerable position when they are giving bids, when they are making offers to their customers, which are for projects that will be realized at later dates.
Right.
So
difficult to plan. Yeah,
you have to plan ahead, and I don't think that anybody was planning that the freight rates would be as high as they are today. No. So just to give you an example, for the same cargo that you might have quoted for in January or early February, you might be forced to pay twice the freight that you calculated back then.
Oh. It's horrible. I know how costly it can be. I also never planned to get a couple of divorces, but suddenly it happened and I had to pay double. So yes, I know what you mean, and that wasn't liner terms. The final question for you, Borna. You have also ventured abroad. You have offices abroad in Liburnia. You have one in Holland, I believe, yeah?
Correct. Our ambition was always to expand internationally and not to limit ourselves to the Adriatic market, or let's say the countries of former Yugoslavia, which is, let's say, our traditional client base. So we started that expansion in 2018 when we founded Liburnia Project Chartering in Breda in Netherlands. Mm-hmm. The office has been a success with 2 employees there. They are working on project chartering and especially focusing on clients working from North Europe, from the continent.
Very good. And that, of course, leads us to the new and headline of this interview, main story of this interview, is that Liburnia now is also venturing into the Czech Republic. And of course, that's an interesting development. So I will now switch over to you, Petronela, sitting here on my left on the screen. Before I continue on asking more about business in Czech, perhaps you could give our viewers around the world an introduction to who are you and how did you end up where you are, please?
Thank you very much. So I end up in Liburnia in the Prague. It's very fresh information. It's very new. Yeah, but how I started, maybe that would be a good start. So I was studying at university, the foreign trade, and we had 1 semester of the transport and logistics. Mm-hmm. And I kind of fall in love with this. I said, like, this is something what I would like to do. I've never ever before considered how this works. But when they were explaining how the cranes pick up the container and deliver somewhere, and you need to have so many like parties involved to have something happen, I was like, this is something that I'd like to do. But I was having a part-time job in a bank, and I started to work right after university in a bank at accountant department. And I knew this is not the job that I will do. And basically after like 6 months, I got a chance to join Argentina. And at that time, it was just an affiliate of an Austrian company in Bratislava in Slovakia, just 3 gentlemen sitting in one office and trying to ship some cargo. And I joined them because they had the feeling the company is growing and they would need some help. And it was really true because the company was growing. And I was there since beginning when we opened the LTD in Slovakia, the first branch. So it was really nice start. We did everything from the scratch because it was a new company. And the company was growing into like 20 employees at that time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I spent there like 6 years. Then I went to maternity leave and my husband had a job assignment abroad. So we moved to another country for 5 years. And after I returned back, I was like, okay, I would spend some time at home, but I got offer from Vertiv, where I just finished my work. And I spent there 3 years at a procurement of logistics services. Mm-hmm. So I was basically on the other side, not a freight forwarder, but the customer. And it's a very interesting experience to see how it works from the other side. And here I had a chance to know Liburnia because I never heard about the company before. And as a global corporation, we worked mainly with the global players on the market. So there is not really a space for the regional companies that we would need to call a global coverage. But the Croatian office was really happy with the service that Liburnia provided. And they were really pushing hard that, no, we have to try Liburnia. It's really a good company. They always provide the best solution. They have a perfect know-how. So we said like, okay, let's try it. And they really did. It was really amazing. It was really good. They could help with all the problems we had during the shipping. And, with the projects, there are always some kind of problems, you never, it's never going smooth as you expect at the really beginning. So we had a very good cooperation. So basically we added small Liburnia to the global players and really cooperated with them on many projects. So I'm really glad this worked. And then I decided maybe the corporate world would be enough for me. And I just seen that Marin, as you mentioned before, mentioned on LinkedIn that he offered a partnership for some employees because of doing a great job. And I said, wow, this is really a company where I would like to work. Yeah, they really take employees as an asset, right? So I was like, this is an amazing opportunity. And I just yeah, ask Marin what if he has maybe something in his mind to open an office in Czech Republic or something that he's planning to do. And yeah, it was kind of a coincidence, and he told me that this is something what we just discussed that we would like to do. Yeah, and this is how it happened. So I'm really glad I could join the company.
Okay, so that means you have formally now joined Liburnia and opening a branch in the Czech Republic?
Yes, we are recently working on it, and it will be ready very soon. I hope maybe beginning of April.
Okay. Okay. And the base of the company in Czech will be in Prague, yes?
Correct, yes.
Okay. And your main activities there will be chartering, moving project cargo around the world, finding customers? Yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Just to be closer to the customer, because the region of Central Europe is growing. The region is big, and there is a big potential. So to be closer to the customer and serve their needs.
Right. Yes, there's certainly no doubt that there is a lot of investment also from Asia into Eastern Europe. Let's say you are you are not the old Europe, you're the new Europe with another mentality than parts of the Western Europe. So I'm sure you will have a lot of business there. But your role then means you will work together with the head office in Rijeka, the office in the Netherlands, and you will cover customers whenever they need a ship from anywhere to anywhere, basically, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, very good. I also understand that you have joined the network recently in CLC projects, which of course is a network of project forwarders who allow service providers to have joined. And I think, Borna, you and I already talked about that before. What I know and I heard from the market is that there are about 240 project forwarders worldwide involved there. So I think that you are part of that team would also give you a lot of exposure worldwide. But my question here is, how do you see that the COVID situation have inflicted on, let's say, your business? Borna, you mentioned charter rates are higher. Have customers, if I ask you, have customers understanding for this, or are they angry at you these days?
Well, I think everybody is already used to this new normal situation with COVID. And I think that the forwarding industry has been relatively successful in adapting to the new rules of the game.
Yeah.
Project forwarding is also less sensitive, maybe. I mean, the projects have been planned in advance, and most of them have been able to. We have been able to materialize what has been agreed last year. I would say that the biggest challenge to us now is not COVID itself directly, but the biggest challenge is, of course, this rising freight market and, of course, some unusual events that have happened in the last couple of days with the story about the Ever Given, which has definitely shocked the market.
Oh, definitely. Well, you can say, you know, nowadays green is the new religion. So at least it's a politically correct ship that has stopped the traffic. So if we can say it like that, but of course it's terrible for world trade. Good to hear, Borna. And for you, Petronela, in the Czech Republic, Czech and Slovakia, you know, of course, both countries well. How do you see COVID? Has that affected? Well, of course, you're new to the business there for Liburnia, but how do you view the future for business there?
So basically, the big companies are still producing and they need to ship their orders. So I don't think this would have any kind of huge influence on the market. Yeah, of course, for the regular container vessels and the cargo that is delivered in containers, it has an impact, all the delays. The companies are usually keeping the stocks very low. So they kind of store all the cargo on the way to the factory. So this is causing kind of a mess. Also, the situation in the Suez would really have an impact, I believe, for the companies here in this region. But the huge companies are producing the projects. They are really still working, and the COVID is impacting mainly the people who work there. So the production might be a little bit slower, but it won't stop, definitely. I don't think it will stop.
Okay, good to hear. At least let's hope there's a light at the end of the tunnel and the vaccines are coming soon. As for that situation, the vaccine situation, how is that in the Czech Republic at the moment?
I hope everything is going back to normal.
Yeah. So are you in total lockdown right now?
Yeah. Recently we are, but it seems it really helped. because the numbers are going down, not really like perfectly down, but they are decreasing because they were really going to the very high numbers. And now we see every day, I'm actually myself personally, I'm checking every day how is the decrease and the number of people in hospitals, because they promised to open the schools once the number is
of course.
so this is my main activity now every day, to check if the numbers are going down, and they are slowly, but they are going.
That's good to hear. Yes, also for me, I'm sitting in Stockholm, Sweden, and I think the wife just told me that she said I should take a long trip very soon. So we all know what's coming. Let's hope the world opens up. I want to say many, many thanks to both of you. Liburnia Maritime and also Project and Chartering is a famous company in Rijeka. I've dealt with them many times, and to have the chance to interview both you, Petronela, as a newcomer in Czech for the company, and Borna as an, let's say, older hand in Rijeka has been my pleasure. So formally, I wish to thank you very much.
Thank you, Bo, and thanks to all the readers.
Thank you, Petronela. And this is to all our viewers around the world. And in order to be a nice gentleman, and it's a Friday, we start with the ladies first. This has been an interview with Miss Petronela Galambošova in Liburnia, Prague, Czech Republic. It's been great. And also her colleague sitting in Rijeka in Croatia, Mr. Borna Petrovic. Thank you very much for having joined us. And to all of you around the world, stay tuned for more interviews in the future. Thank you.